Hi, what up, yo? About to do our daily break or Sunday breakdown. So we're just gonna basically just put everything back into this category here because we're gonna reorganize everything. We're gonna wipe everything out. None of the past trades matter. None of the past market data. We're just gonna start fresh. Okay, cool. Let's go down here. I kind of want to see what's going on with these weekly ones if they've moved. Nope, still within this giant range. Not interested because all of this, they can be a weekly area of interest anywhere, and you're just going to keep bouncing between. NZD CAD, same thing in between that. So these are not within because we got this massive range on here. So we don't trade anything that's been sitting in the same spot the whole entire time. So going with Euro PLN, let's swipe everything off the top there. Let's see. So currently we are bullish. Um, but the previous daily candle closed bearish, or previous weekly candle closed bearish. Let's see. If we're at a weekly area of interest, it won't matter. That's where we're at right now. Yeah, we're basically at a weekly area of interest. Like if we just move this like this, we have one tap, two tap, three taps. So we're right at the weekly area of interest. With the daily saying the daily is currently bullish, so we need the daily to shift. So the simplest thing would just be to like that because we want weekly take profit. Actually, we're bullish, right? So the weekly take profit is up here. This is the next weekly structure. We're reacting off of here. The daily is currently bullish. Super messy though, so don't like how all of this is just moving sideways like that. So since we're bullish, we've had a proper pullback, but honestly, I just don't like how the daily's moving all sideways like this, because then we can just be trapped in this same daily range again. So I'm just gonna put daily ranging. Okay, we're not interested in that. CAD JPY on the weekly, wipe everything off. We basically already wicked into the weekly take profit. Okay, not interested in that. Euro HUF pullback. This is where we're currently at right now, and we're bullish and we're not at a valid weekly area of interest. USD JPY, we are currently bearish. Previous weekly bias closed bullish. If we're reacting off a weekly area of interest, I would be interested. What's going on here? We have one touch, two touch, three touch. So it's valid daily. Weekly take profit would be, I would just aim for down there. Well, it'd have to be the weekly structural point, which would be the weekly low on here. So we can actually aim there. Daily has had a proper pullback. So you can expect it to go down. And then the 4 hour currently is bullish. So the 4 hour needs to shift. So where is our text tool? Bearish typo. Da, da, da. Pro trend. Okay, so we actually just need a 4 hour shift of structure on here. We need that 4 hour shift of structure, right? We can actually change this to that so we know we've done it. GJ, we are, what the heck? Basically, this is kind of moving like in a sideways range like this. So basically moving in the sideways range, and I don't think it's reacting off of anything. What we're gonna do. All right, that's done. Your NZD is still not at a valid. Yeah, still not at a valid. G, yep, still not at a valid. GA, yeah, still not at a valid area of interest. CHFJPY, it's bullish. Yeah, still not at a valid area of interest. Reacted. We have, yeah, it's not at a valid one. Just because, like, if we do one touch here, two touch, like, did we respawn off the third one? Like, do we count that as the push? Like, if we rejected, now we can have a daily pullback and then go one touch, two touch, three touch. So this one, I would say, yeah, because we had one touch, two touch, three touch. It's reacted off of there already. So the daily is currently bullish, but the daily is within all of this mess on here. So I just think the daily is just moving sideways. So you'd want the daily to break out and then go, uh, we'll just put daily is within. Silver, we are not at a valid area of interest, so we can leave it. Your AUD, same thing. AUD, USD, what's going on here? Higher high here. Nah, not at a valid area of interest. Okay, Euro USD, not interested. USD SGD. If we're doing a counter trend trade, it kind of already wicked into there. What's the daily? The daily is not going to shift in order to have a counter trend trade. Can't do a pro trend because we've already wicked in here. Okay. Use the MXN. Okay, we definitely can't if this. Okay, not at a weekly area of interest. GU basically already wicked in. Next structure point will be here for a counter trend. Daily would have to shift, but it would probably be there already. So maybe if it pushes up like that and comes like this, we can possibly look for Hit the sell, so yeah, previous weekly bias closed bearish as well too. So daily needs SOS. If it's going to do it, it's pretty close already though, but we'll see. Weekly already wicked in to take profit. Uh, Previous weekly bias is against us. Counter trend, we would have to go to here. Daily would basically be here unless it kind of like I said, like if it pops up and then does that. Um, so that's what we'd be looking for. Daily. So we'll see. Use the NOK. We are currently lower low previous weekly bias bullish, so we'd be looking for counter trends because we don't have a weekly area of interest. Oh, wait, what's this? 2020? Not bad. Um, this is what I was looking at here, like this. Then we can go back down to here. And the daily is currently bearish, and the 4 hour is currently all of this. We broke, we broke. So we're at a higher high. Higher low, so we need a 4 hour shift. Okay, so we need a 4 hour shift. Use the DKK. We are currently, yeah, we can't trade this. Only, yeah, we can't trade this. Like, what the heck is this? We are can't do a counter trend. I don't like the way this is reacting off of here because then this would be the next profit target. Okay, so AJ, let's see. Yeah, basically, well, that was a good opportunity to draw a fresh one. This is where we're at, not at a weekly area of interest, not okay. UK oil. Yeah, we're at a valid weekly of area of interest. So we need to shift. Now we're bearish already. Nice. Okay, so we need a proper 4 hour pullback on UK oil. Need proper 4 hour pullback. US oil, a USD CAD. Def, what's the daily saying? Yeah, the daily won't shift in order for a counter trend, and you can't sell this because you're at a lower low with an indecision candle, and the previous weekly bias is bullish. So basically, yeah, you can't. counter weekly wick pullback with that, so not interested. Noise, AUD CAD, weekly. Eh, don't like how this is. Like, it's not, it would be a weekly wick pullback, but we're not really respond like it's not at a week, it's not at a valid area of interest. I'm just gonna put that because, well, let's see up here. No, yeah, it's just like weird because it's not like responding off of a weekly area of interest. It is off of here, but I'd want it to actually like retest it before we go. For a weekly wick pullback, it just didn't because like this, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like something about this is just so off. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I don't feel like I could do a weekly wick pullback on here, so we're gonna leave that. I'm gonna have to document this as well too, so let me just okay, USD HUF weekly wick previous weekly bias is not in alignment for a counter trend. The daily is bullish, right? Because we broke here. Yeah, 4 hour would need to shift, but then 4 hour would already be there. Use the SEK on the weekly. Our previous weekly bias is bullish, so we can't sell. And how far ago? 2019. It's a little too far for me, to be honest. Yeah. Let me, nice. Well, this one was like basically 2019 as well, too. Well, one. Yeah, we're reacting off of that. Got one, two, three. Say like you don't even need to go all the way back there, just like there. So that's valid. This is so much like nicer than the other one, like in terms of like how it feels. So same thing. We would need basically that. Daily needs shift to structure. NZD USD 302 market should be opening now. Um, on the weekly, we are at a higher high indecision candle, can't weekly wick pullback, and also cannot counter trend and not at a weekly area of interest. Okay, Euro JPY. Um, what is it's bearish here? Well, it's bullish here. It's just so messy. This is just so messy. This would cause the daily. Yeah. Use the CZK weekly wick pullback. Yeah, this is not bad. But the weekly take profit is going to be right here. We're at a weekly area of interest. What's the daily saying? The daily would need to shift. Then we're basically at take profit already. Yeah. Um, maybe if it does that and then comes down, then we can look at it. Like if it pushes higher first. So then we can just put this here. It needs the daily shift the structure. Euro GBP weekly. This is where we're at. 21 right here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Basically at the weekly area of interest, the daily would need to shift bullish. So once the daily shifts, if the daily shifts bullish, then we can look there. This could even be like a daily accumulation breakout where we just break and just have a 4-hour pullback and then go. Without having the proper daily pullback, we'll have to wait and see. Needs a daily shift to structure. Needs a daily shift to structure. USD PLN weekly at a lower low. Previous weekly bias is bearish. Nice. Okay, where would be our target? Target would be here. It's a daily saying. Daily had that pullback. Is bearish, right? Lower high, lower low. 4-hour is bearish also. So this actually just needs a 4-hour rejection confirmation, to be honest. Whoops. Okay, needs use the HKD. Broke above previous weekly biases, bullish. We've already wicked into, yeah. Use the czar. We've pulled back. What did we pull back to? 1, 2. Don't really like it because this would have to be like a thick zone like this. I prefer my zones to look like that, you know? What if we did that? 1, 2, 3. This is the third one here, so we're reacting off of that. We can have a wick pullback go. Daily. bullish. Daily needs a shift structure. Okay, needs daily SOS. GCAD. We're bullish, previous candle closed bearish. Not at a valid weekly area of interest. Can't counter trend because we're basically, this was the previous weekly structure. Okay. Uh, Yeah. Okay. NZD-JPY. Da, 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 da. Okay, we are currently bullish. Basically wicked in to take profit already. Um, yeah, not at valid area of interest. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, how far is this? Maybe two. See, like now I'm thinking like, because we basically rejected off of that previous weekly biases there. Daily is bullish. Daily's having a proper pullback. The 4 hour is bearish, so the 4 hour need to shift to bullish. So maybe if it, we'll just do that. It's 4 hour SOS. And then there was, yeah, because now we're bearish. So why would we be looking there? You can't do it like that. Did this, like here. We could say, because there was one tap there, there's another tap there. We could just say it's rejecting off of that, so we can do like a weekly wick pullback. Weekly wick pullback. And be like, yeah, we've rejected off of there. Weekly wick pullback. Daily needs to have a proper pullback. This daily is a breakout candle though. Um, yeah. So we could possibly look for a 4 hour pullback on here. Just have a proper 4 hour pullback and then go again. Okay. Could possibly have a proper 4 hour pullback somewhere. and then go. Okay. So we would say, okay, so this is how we're going to approach this. So since it's a daily accumulation breakout, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for price to pull back. It'll either pull back to here or around here or whatever. When it pulls back, if it pulls back in here and taps into this line, we have to make sure that we have a range so that we can take a trade and have something like this where like when it gets to there, it'll be like at least like a 2R, like something like that. That's what it'd have to look like. And if it responds off of here, then we have to make sure, yeah, it'll be like only like a 2R, you know? So this type of trade, because we don't have the daily pullback, it won't push that far. So we're going to take this on an account that only needs like a 2R trade. But yeah, okay. So we're going to do this. This is going to need a proper 4-hour pullback. I swear there was one that just needed a 4-hour. Yeah, this one here. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So all these pairs we're not interested in this week. Check. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have it on here if it's too far. Yeah. Don't like it. Not respond, respect anything. Too choppy. This one it is bullish. It's super choppy within here. Um, let me see. Yeah, the daily's just too messy. Like I wanted to have a nice clean pullback like this and then go. It's just too messy in the daily. Not an area of interest. GU, not an area of interest, not an area of interest. GJ. This is like in a sideways range. Add weekly take profit. Could say this. We're here. 1, 2, 3. Daily is bullish and messy though. Why is it so messy? Um, so if we break out of here, we could wait for a daily pullback and then go. Um, but if it's like this, then it's probably going to be like this for a while. So I'm going to say, well, if it breaks out, where's our take profit? Pro trend, take profits all the way up there. I'll just say, because I don't like how it's like that. Let's just, we can try as long as, because we've already, yeah, I don't like this. The daily's just, yeah, it's not gonna say, okay, that's it. So collapse down. Not looking at it, not interested. That's gonna take at least these ones here are probably maybe could happen a week, maybe not. We'll see how it goes. These will take at least 2 sessions in order for it to shift, in order to get the direction we need. These need a proper 4 hour pullback, so um you have to wait for price to pull back, then you have to wait again, and same thing here. Oh wait, hold on. Like, let's just say it did react. Like we're saying it reacted there. So we have a daily wick pullback. Weekly is, okay. Yeah. So the daily is bearish. It is currently having a proper pullback. The 4 hour just needs to have a proper pullback. So it did. And it, okay. So the 4 hour just needs a rejection confirmation. Perfect. So once we get the 4 hour close and bearish in this direction, then we can look at it. Did we have, yeah, we did have a proper daily pullback because all of this is the daily. Oop. All right, we're done. So these would be the soonest one available, maybe after, like in London session. So we can only look at these start in after 11. Oh, okay. I was like, this looks so weird because it's UK oil. Like the time for this, I don't understand why this pair moves like this, to be honest. But 11 p.m. and okay, so once it gets to that, that's when we can start looking at the charts. Boom, that's it.